Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce you all to some tips and tricks on how to write an insurance company business plan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the party started. So first and foremost, a little bit about me, then we're going to talk about your insurance company and how you can best prepare a well-written business plan. First and foremost, I am a professional writer, specifically a business plan writer, but I've also written several books that I've published on Amazon. So, I do have a little bit of credentials in writing business plans and also in professional writing in general. So if you want to avoid the trials and tribulations of writing your own insurance company business plan, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text. Be delighted to help. If you want to go ahead and enjoy the process and the experiences of writing your own business plan, fully supported by me, but make sure to at least use some kind of foundation template or so on. So from that, again, zip over to Amazon. Check out some of my books or templates. And finally, I am an adjunct professor for business and finance, and I am also a subject matter expert, so I do have some academic credentials supporting my thoughts and ideas as well. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about your company. Let's talk about your insurance company. Tip number one, when you are doing your insurance company description of a business plan, I like to try to start off with a story when I work with my insurance company business owners. Usually the story is going to be related to some mishap that the business owner had when dealing with other insurance agents, because that's usually a trigger or a starting point for a business owner or an insurance agent to get into the field. Share that experience, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. Make sure to talk about that and show where your passion started. It kind of gives the reader a little bit of insights to your thoughts and ideas. Next is going to be when you're starting an insurance company, usually people are starting it because there's a problem in their area, whether there's not knowledgeable agents or because there's not very many insurance company agents in your area. There's always a driving reason behind the story. So make sure you touch on that as well. And then finally, in your company description, talk about your competitive advantage. Are you a generalist? Are you going to be offering a wide array of insurance products that people are going to be able to come to you and purchase from you? And you are providing, expert knowledge and expert service on all of these? Or are you a niche product specialist? Are you only offering one or two or three different services, but you are an expert in these services and this is all that you do and you know this industry inside and out? Whether it's a generalist or a specialist, it doesn't matter. Just make sure to highlight the strategic advantages of whatever choice that you have chosen. All right, tip number two, industry research. A lot of insurance company owners, what they like to do is they like to go immediately for the jugular, and they like to just start ripping up their competitors. If you're a State Farm agent, all the bad things about Farmers or about Allstate, and they just dive right into the competition and start differentiating between the products. The problem with that is that you haven't set the groundwork to show that you're an industry expert to be making these assumptions or to be making these determining factors. So as a business plan writer, what I recommend my what my clients do, and this is what I do, is I will go ahead in the industry research section. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some research on the industry as a whole on a national level. I might go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I might go to IBIS World and just gather information about some of the trends and what's happening in the insurance industry as a whole. Then I'm going to summarize that information. For example, insurance premiums are growing at approximately a 5% rate annually. A poor insurance coverage is a factor in about 68% of all bankruptcies. So these are some of the industry trends and statistics that once you show this information and you document this information and summarize it, you're going to be able to at least lay the foundation that you are a credible source, possibly even an industry expert. From that position, then you can go ahead and use your findings and start examining your competitors in the area and start comparing them with national trends or national needs, from consumers. And then you're able to show some of the shortcomings based on your findings and also based on your perceived reputation as an expert. All right. So tip number 3, advertising. Insurance agents love to talk about their products, and I respect that, because that's, your training has led you to that, where you're just inundated with various products and services that you're offering in the insurance industry, and you have to know the technicalities, and you have to know the intricacies of each one of your products, and it's a litany of information to know. When an insurance company, from my experience, tries to advertise, unfortunately, they like to show a little too much about how much they know, and it starts getting overwhelming for the customers in the advertising. For example, some of the websites, they're very technical with insurance information and some of the rules and regulations. And when a customer goes and they sees a website with all these technical information, it kind of turns them off, because there's no with them. What's in it for me kind of a perspective. So from my experience, when you're doing advertising and you're writing up your advertising strategic model that you're going to summarize into your business plan, make sure you touch on your social media, your website, and also the word of mouth advertising strategies that you're going to use. But one of the biggest things that I really recommend for my clients is, on their website, talk about the benefits that the customer is going to receive when working with your organization, whether it's going to be the customer service, whether it's going to be a wide array of services that you're going to offer, insurance services you're going to offer, whether it be your extended business hours. But make sure you talk about the benefits. Really drive home the benefits, and help your customer connect the benefits to your products. Maybe go a little bit light on the products in your website, and then fully educate them once they understand the benefits. Tip number 4 is funding request. For the most part, when you're starting your insurance company, you're going to have a build out. You're going to need some office space. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research, either buy a building or lease some office space. You're going to have to do a little bit of build out. Excuse me. You're going to have some working capital, which is just money's available after you open up. It does take a little bit of time for insurance premiums to start rolling in for you. You might need some office equipment. You may need a copier, some cell phones, and some computers, PCs. And for inventory, you're really not going to need too much inventory. From my experience, the inventory that most the inventory that most insurance companies hold is really marketing inventory. They've got a lot of pamphlets, they've got a lot of brochures, and they've got a lot of information that is set toward their policies and procedures and so on. So when you are doing a funding request, the first line of your funding request in a business plan should be the specific dollar amount needed to start your organization. That should include how much money you're putting in there, as well as how much additional funding you need. That dollar amount should be specific. Do not put a range. If, for example, I am starting an insurance company that requires $150,000 in startup capital, I wouldn't put 150,000 to 200. The wishy-washiness in the first line, it shows that you really don't know how much money you need, and you're guessing now. And once you start doing that, you start scaring people. Making investors worried. You're going to start making lenders worried. So be specific in that dollar amount. The next thing you're going to do, once you specifically state the dollar amount that you need to start your organization, then you're going to break it up into categories. The categories may be the build-out cost, working capital, the equipment, and the inventory. The equipment being your office computers and such. In those categories, then go ahead and go a little bit more broad, a little bit more general, and state, for your build out, you're going to need $20,000. In your working capital, you need $15,000. Your inventory may be, $2,500, and your office equipment might be $15,000. When you go general in your categories, that's going to give you a little bit of wiggle room. So if your computers cost a little bit more money, well, then you might have to cut back on a fax machine or something if offices even have those anymore. But you've got a little wiggle room. So you want to go a little bit general in your categories, but you do want to be a specific when you state your dollar amount. Finally, total your categories into one lump sum. So your working capital, your build out, your equipment, your inventory, total all those categories and have one grand total. That grand total should be identical to the top number that you stated in your first sentence, how much money you need to start operations. And next is going to be financial projections. Everybody loves an insurance company. They like talking about the benefits and the challenges in the business plan. They like to talk about the geographic area they're going to be servicing, but it all comes down to numbers. The business owners, they're going to see what the profits are going to be. Investors are going to want to see what the profits are going to be. And your bank's going to be interested in knowing what your revenues or profits are going to be as well. And I'm sure you as a business owner are probably a little bit concerned or a little bit anxious to want to find out what your potential profits are going to be for your organization. So from that, what I recommend is to have a basic financial model written up that you're able to make some of the changes yourself and determine, how many, home insurance sales you need to write, or how many life insurance policies you need to sell on a weekly or monthly basis in order to generate the profits that you need to survive or to stay in business. So in this particular basic profit and loss model, what I've done is I've identified maybe 3 different products that an insurance company may sell: home insurance, life insurance, and it should be car insurance. My apologies. And for each one of these categories, I'm going to identify a price, what's going to be the average cost for the service sold. In this particular example right here, we've got home insurance. Average price is going to be $2,300. The variable cost, how much you have to pay the underwriter, we're going to estimate that at about $2,000, which is going to lead to a gross profit for the company of $300. And in this particular example, I'm saying that we're going to be selling 2 homeowner insurance policies a day. By taking this 2, multiplying it by the 300, it's going to give us a gross profit of $600. From that point, I'm then going to follow that same process for the life insurance and the car insurance. You forget that E, but life insurance and car insurance. And then once I do that, I'm going to then total up a gross profits, and I'm going to add them up, and I'm going to put it right here, which is going to give us our total gross profits. In this example, we are anticipating approximately $1,075 in gross profits on a daily basis. I'm saying that the insurance agency company is going to be operating every day, so number of days in a month are going to be 30. In order to get the gross monthly profits, we're going to take that 1,075, multiply it by the 30, and voila, we now have our growth profits that are going to be coming into the organization on a monthly basis that we anticipate. Next thing we need to figure out is going to be the monthly fixed cost. For this particular example, I'm stating that we're going to have a loan that we have to pay every month for $950. We're going to have inventory, which is going to be our marketing material, about $700. Then we're going to have labor at $9,500, space rental $6,500. Utilities, got to keep those lights and water on and the water running. And marketing, inevitably your marketing is going to be quite substantial. Makes an estimate for this hypothetical situation at $5,000. Accounting, legal, $750, and then finally the catch-all is going to be miscellaneous at $800. And the catch-all, you do want to have a catch-all. You never know when your computer is going to break down, or you're going to spring a leak, and you're going to have water extraction done. So you do want some kind of a catch-all in your monthly fixed cost. In this particular example, once we add up all our fixed costs, it's going to give us a total of $25,400. Now, to get our monthly net profits, again, on an average, very basic, rudimentary profit and loss statement, we are going to take our gross monthly profits of $32,250, which is right here. We're going to pull that number down here. Then we're going to have our monthly cost, $25,400, which is right here. We're going to pull it down here. We are then going to subtract our monthly costs from our monthly gross profits, and that's going to give us our net profits. In this example, $6,850. So once we now have this model built, we can then change around our homeowners insurance. So if we anticipate higher premiums, we can change this $2,300 to $2,500, change our variable costs, and if we have this model done correctly, it's going to immediately calculate our profits for the month. It's a great tool to figure out what your price points need to be, but it's also a great tool to identify what your sales need to be on a daily basis or a weekly basis in order to generate the monthly profits needed. All right, so in summary, make sure to follow a proven format. An excellent source for a business plan template, if you're going to use a business plan template, is to go to the SBA website. They've got some templates available there. Just keep in mind the SBA template is an excellent starting point. It is better than having a blank screen in front of you and you know you need to write your business plan and you're sitting there looking at the screen and nothing's happening and you're frozen, the screen's frozen, everybody's frozen. You're getting nowhere. So if you get a template from the SBA website, you're going to at least have a structure that you can now start responding to and filling in. And at least you can get the ball rolling, your wheels grinding, and you're moving in a direction. The challenge with the SBA website templates is that those templates are good for a restaurant. They might be good for a retail store. They might be good for a mechanic. They might also be good for a insurance company as well. Only problem is that some aspects of that template might be good for a restaurant, but they're not applicable to an insurance company. So now you got to determine which information is applicable to your particular scenario. So it could be a little bit of a hassle, but it beats staring at a blank screen. Next is going to be keep the star of the show as the business. Yes, you might have been selling insurance for the last 30 years and you're an innovator in your area and your networking is just top notch. That is all fine, good and dandy and wonderful. However, when you're writing your business plan, make sure to keep the star of the show as the business. It's critical. You want to be able to differentiate yourself from the business. Talk about the products, talk about the services, talk about the area you're going to be servicing, talk about your business. Make sure to keep the star of the show as a business. And finally, contact me for help. If you're stuck with your business model, if you're stuck with writing the plan, if you're stuck with your financial projections, if you're having any problems with any one of those areas, make sure to reach out, get some professional help. Love to help. My information's right here. And finally, if you do want some more information with writing a business plan for an insurance company, just mosey on over to my website, which is qualitybusinessplan.com/how to write an insurance company business plan. And on this webpage right here, I do go into greater depth for each segment of a business plan that should be aligned with an insurance company. So it's going to provide a lot more information. And finally, if you need a business plan template, I am in the process of writing a business plan template that is geared towards insurance companies. It's going to have national information. It's going to have your industry research already done for an insurance company. It's going to have some basic projections done for an insurance company, and it's also going to have areas where you're going to be able to make changes, and they'll be highlighted where you need to make the changes. The objective of my insurance company business plan templates is for them to be done, ready to go in less than 30 minutes for you. All right, so hopefully this information is helpful. If you want some more information, check out my Amazon webpage. And if you need some assistance with writing your business plan, please don't hesitate to pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, and I would be absolutely delighted to assist. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up on YouTube and have a fantastic day. Thank you.